Hello everyone. So I started a podcast. Yes, a podcast around 2 years ago. I think it was in 2019, if I remember correctly. And the podcast was actually on Anchor. And by the way, this is not the very first podcast that I started. I think the very first podcast I started or attempted was, I think, around 10 years ago. And it was, of course, really bad, and I stopped it. And I was actually paying for the hosting back then. I remember podcasts are not really easy. I mean, it is nothing but just an MP3 file that you can manage, and you can actually store it in a specific way. If you have, let us say, a WordPress blog, or I'm sure you can also do it on your Drupal based website, and there were a lot of other platforms, but nowadays it is actually very simple. With the help of Anchor, you can actually start your own podcast from your mobile phone, which is what I did. I started this blog of mine called Ravi Sagar because I couldn't really think of any other name, and I was making actually a lot of podcasts. I think I did make 10-15 podcasts. Of course, these are nothing but me just talking about things that I have been doing, and the idea was to basically share things that I normally do on my YouTube channel. But I think it is a good way to share your thoughts, your ideas, and podcast, I know, has its own audience. Usually, if you're traveling, or if you're maybe walking, or maybe you're running, you can listen to these podcast, and you can maybe consume their content, or you can actually learn something. I think I always try to think of learning. If I'm let us say if I'm walking, or if I'm maybe traveling for work, and if I can also listen to a podcast to learn something, I think that is the great thing. I really don't like wasting my time. I prefer utilizing my time as much as I can, and I think podcasts are great in my opinion. But I was, of course, not really updating or uploading podcasts regularly. But recently I thought, because I do make videos, and in most of my videos I just talk, like right now I'm talking, and if I'm not really showing anything like a technical thing, like if I'm not talking about Linux, or maybe maybe I'm not really talking about any shell scripting, and if I'm maybe just sharing my thoughts and my ideas. Like yesterday I made one video on my daily schedule and timetable, like how I organize my goals. So these kind of videos are, I believe, something that can also be uploaded to the podcast. Now I will show you how I convert my videos to nothing but audio files, which is actually very simple to do using ffmpeg. This video is actually all about ffmpeg, and I thought I'll probably give you some background. But if you follow my channel, you can of course take a look at this podcast of mine on anchor.fm/ravisagar. The good thing about Anchor is that you can also automatically configure it to post your podcast, or maybe make your podcast available on other platforms like Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and I believe many more. And it can also create this RSS feed for you. So if you go to Spotify, you will find me. If you also go to maybe Google Podcast, you should also find my podcast over there. So I thought I'll probably talk about it very quickly. Now, talking about how I make them. By the way, if you're using the mobile phone, you can actually download the app, and the Anchor app, and it will let you record a podcast, which is, in my opinion, great. But I don't really want to duplicate my effort if I'm making a video, and if I think that particular video is something that can be converted to a podcast, I think I will probably do that. Now, I actually recently made one video, and that particular video basically had a few things like it was all about me talking about my daily schedule, but it was nothing but this big MP4 file, which is by the way, I also make videos using nothing but shell scripts and ffmpeg. So the output is nothing but MP4 file. And what you need to do, you need to basically use this command where you need to, of course, start with ffmpeg. That is the command that you're trying to use, and then you need to give the input. The input is the video file, like the video file is this one, 2021-06-28, and whatever video title that I have. I try to save my videos with, or in fact, I leave any files with this YYYY/-mm-dd format, because it is much easier to search without using the date updated or date created tag on the file. If you have this in the name, like the timestamp, then I think it makes life a lot easier. Just a small suggestion. One of my earliest in one of my first, not first but second or third job, I had a manager called Shailendra, and he actually suggested this approach. So I'll probably talk about this approach, like how to save files, use timestamps maybe separately. But okay, in this video I wanted to talk about ffmpeg. So let us go back to ffmpeg. Now then you can pass this argument like -vn, because it says, the meaning is that no video, you don't really worry about the video. And then for audio codec, if you do -a codec copy, and then of course your output file name, which is in my temp directory, or it could be your podcast, whatever directory, it could be the same directory by the way, and then pass in the file name. I mean, I want to name it as same as my original video name, but with the extension M4A. It could be MP4, but when you download the files from Anchor, they're all in M4A, and I believe M4A is like the newer version of MP4, or not MP4, MP3, but M4A is basically for the audio. And when you run this, it will take maybe, okay, it will probably ask me to confirm, because I already have a file. Save it, and within, it is actually very fast. The original video was, I think it was, let us take a look at the media info 2021. I think it was yesterday when I made this. Okay, so okay, let me just run it again. So it was I was looking at the file size. Okay, I think I need to do no, not this one. So if you just do ls-alt, you will notice that the file size is actually it is not a small file. It is roughly 378 MB. But the audio, if you look at the audio file, I'll go to my temp and 2021. The audio is actually only 30 MB. I mean, you can I'm sure using ffmpeg you can still change it, but right now we just want to copy it straight away. I mean the audio without any loss. And using ffmpeg, it has actually extracted the audio from the video, and it has saved it separately. That is the beauty of ffmpeg. It can do a lot of wonderful things for you very, very easily. And that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope to make more podcasts. I mean, I think I will. I should. I think I am probably I was probably into like relax mode for the past 1 year. I think the last podcast I made was, I think, somewhere in November. Yeah, that was a long time back, when I talked about moving to Arch Linux. Now it has been a while. It has been 8 months when I made the switch from Fedora to Arch Linux. And the reason I'm doing it is because I don't really want to duplicate the effort. I mean, because on this channel I talk about a lot of things, and if I'm not really talking about any tutorial or any tool, I'll just convert it I'll convert the video to audio and upload it on this podcast. And I thought I'll probably share this simple ffmpeg command to convert a video to audio. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.